See who else forgot to unmute their microphones here.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys made it. I see Adam's camera cooled off. Just in the nick of time.
Whose camera needs a radiator? Like, I don't get it, man.
Somebody who leaves their camera on for months at a time.
Am I at the proper, like, is my camera too far forward, too far back?
I don't know. Looks like you're going to, like, move in and make out with it.
Should I sit back?
Yeah, a little bit.
I got my, look at my, see this? Prestige
What is that?
Worldwide.
I don't get it. Boats and hose. Oh, yeah, I get it now.
Nice.
Look who's twinsies today here. Oh, let's get this. Let's get the flag in there. Oh, yeah. Look at that, Joe.
Oh, sweet. Check that out.
I was going to wear that, but I figured Chris didn't show up tonight, so.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. Should we support the guy? He's not here. Ah, fuck, why not? We like him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know, where is Chris tonight?
I don't know.
It's a pineapple party.
Yeah. Some post-turkey pineapple parties.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
He said something about, what was he making? Crawfish or something? That's what he makes instead of turkey, like a normal person. Turkey or at least ham. He makes those little tiny crawfish and cuts them up and whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, so Chris isn't here because he has a family that he cares about and wants to spend time with them because they apparently don't ever get in arguments.
Yeah.
And they respect him and enjoy his company. So he's like, yeah, I got to be with my family today, guys. We'll probably do the same stuff around Christmas, too, because he did it last year. So, yeah, don't hold your breath.
No show.
You know, he's the undependable one of the group.
I forgot all about that he wasn't showing up tonight.
I didn't. I've been thinking about it all week. I've had anxiety about it and bad dreams about it. It's bothered me. Really.
Yeah. The GIFs Bill put in the chat were funny. I'm like, Bill, what's wrong? He's put like crying face and no and all this stuff. I'm like, Bill, what's up? Didn't you see he's not going to make it this Friday? I'm like, oh. I
can't express my own emotions, so I have to use GIFs.
Yeah. Hey.
Are they GIFs or GIFs?
GIFs, I don't know. Jiffy Lube, Giffy Lube, GIF peanut butter.
So let's see what's up.
I need to carry like like an iPad on a string around my neck. So when I feel emotions, I can quickly like bring up a GIF and show people what I'm feeling inside.
Yeah.
Since I can't actually express it with my human face.
You're using it for the 550i's anyways, right? The Teslas with no screen?
No.
Oh.
No. I
use
quit
it
those.
the
I got the
same
IM Manifold now. Which I really haven't even been able to break out and use yet, you know?
You should.
Well, I guess I'll sit back. I don't do anything.
Might as well.
Anyway, right?
Like an old person trying to read a newspaper.
I feel like my proportions are off. Sorry, guys.
No, because when you're looking at all of us, like your head is the biggest. Like Joe is the furthest back, which he didn't rotate his Rubik's Cube.
I feel like I need to lower it a little bit, huh?
Maybe lower it, scooch on back a little bit. You got the green screen going, so you can like show a black background.
Yeah,
that's different.
It's still too high.
Free drinking there, Bill.
What happened?
What's up?
Free drinking there.
Coffee. Because I'm tired. I wish it was booze. I wish it was straight scotch.
Yeah,
that's what I wish, but
I
can't drink anymore.
I kind of I don't know. No more gummies for me either. I'm going straight. No,
you going straight? Triple X straight?
I got tea, my Tazo tea.
Oh yeah, man! I've been switching to tea, which is in this cup right here. I got 3 beverages over here: tea, coffee, and Diet Pop. Right? Tea, I don't mind tea, but man, like, could it be any more of a boring flavor? Like, just fucking
this. Hold on a second. There's one you got to try here. I'm trying to find what is it called. It's like a berry one. Super good.
I drink the Yoji
Passion Fruit Tea by Tazo.
Sounds super gay, but I'll try it. Because the stuff. So I've been trying teas lately because I'm like, I can't go back to drinking because I'm, what they call an alcoholic, only because I drink till I black out. And I'm like, well, now I got to try something else. So I've been drinking tea because I can't, I can't do drugs, can't smoke cigarettes, can't drink booze, all the fun things in life. So I'm drinking this mess of fucking hot armpit water because it's got almost no taste. And I've been going through like, I don't know how many boxes of tea I went through, and I found a flavor that's decent. And it's the bedtime tea, the yogi, whatever you call it, bedtime tea. It's not terrible. Chamomile.
Speaking of tea and crumpets, Big Clive's in chat. Hello, Clive, and
how insulting is that to Clive?
I don't know. I just want to transition to the great guys we have in the chat, man.
That's a good point. Jonathan Hughes says, "Put milk in your tea." That seems weird. I don't like milk though.
Hey, Bill. One thing we forgot about. We need to thank our sponsors.
Yes. Let me get on my list here of our sponsors here. So this week we're sponsored by Lead Ninja and Gene Slade. They're sponsoring us with his millions and millions of dollars. Thanks to Adam, who reached out to Gene earlier this week, and they have formed a bond.
Yes, like that's brothers. Why he's not doing the gummies. He's gonna, the rich man drug.
Thank Adam for bringing on.
And then I said, screw it. What I do, him and J-Dub.
I'm trying to get us hooked up with like Denny's because we can't get HVAC sponsors at all to save our lives. So I'm going out
try
like IHOP and Denny's wherever I'm like driving around.
The Grand
Slam. I'm in McDonald's drive-through. I'm like, hey, you want to sponsor our YouTube show?
Hey, Will, Captain Morgan Gold with some pop. I'm the cool guy, not these guys drinking tea.
Yeah, I know we're not cool. So real quick, let's give a shout out to everybody that's watching tonight.
Let's do it. Let's get this party started.
I seen our number one fan, Mr. Randy Ravioli, is in the audience tonight.
Up,
his
Randy?
Little buddy Luke, I'm sure, is sitting close by.
There he is.
Bark twice, Luke. He is. So we got Jonathan Hughes.
We got Jason all the OGs Johnson, tonight.
All the OGs. Will Speed hanging out. I was asking Will Speed earlier if he did anything cool this week, but I missed it if he
gets some cool stuff at it, man.
He does get a lot of cool things.
Jason Johnson.
Cyborg Sheep.
Where's Clive and his crew?
Yeah. I thought I seen him earlier.
He's in here. Hamilton.
Herman Lloyd.
Chipmunk.
His left bicep Tommy and his twin sister Dolly.
Yeah, and that's his goal too.
Yeah. Everything HVACR. Good to see you guys. Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I know a bunch of you fat bastards were talking about how much you ate in the chat earlier. Man, I ate so much food. I literally ate 1.5 pounds of ham for dinner yesterday because I weighed it, because that's what I do when I'm bored, as I weigh food. and I still feel full, man. Just half a pie, half a ham, a bunch of potatoes. Like I just feel bad.
You know what? I just want Keith, you're awesome, bud. You're awesome. Thanks, bud. You know, a lot of people don't chat, and they're watching us on a smart TV like he is. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good idea unless you have kids around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is true.
Because we don't take kindly to children around here.
Cuba Libre tree.
That reminds me of that story. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it about Adam's son's adventure this week. His son, your son's adventure in the neighborhood.
Oh no! Don't do it, please.
Please, he says.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Let's talk about some. Let's talk. What were we about to talk about?
There's so much HVAC going on.
Yeah, we were going to talk about nitrogen.
Real quick though. No, that's
we could go there.
That's for later. That's for later. That's for later. So, real quick, let's stay in the holiday theme here. What'd you guys do for the holiday? Now, Joe. Real quick, I don't really know what you guys do for Thanksgiving, right? It's just a normal Thursday for you, right?
Yeah, dude.
Because you have, when is your Thanksgiving? Boxing Day? Is that it?
October or something. I don't even know. Maybe Keep Six or Cyber. Somebody could enlighten me. I don't even remember what
So
it was.
Your Thanksgiving, did you just, did Canada say, hey, the states have a Thanksgiving, so we're going to take one? Like, what are you guys thankful for up there? The
Good
Queen?
question.
Like, what? How did that start?
I don't know.
Did you have like a deal with the Indians too?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had a good deal with the Indians. We made out like bandits on that deal.
Hey, at least it worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. We got all this land for free, land of the free, home of the brave, sort of thing. But like I tell everybody, Canadians are thankful every day.
That is true. That's why I don't take it so serious. But we know one thing. When it's Thanksgiving in America, all we see is college football down here. College
Yeah.
football.
At least where I'm at, all we see is the Lions games. The Detroit Lions, who always lose every year without a doubt. I didn't even watch this year. I don't even know if they lost this year. I'm just assuming that they did. I didn't even watch the game this year. I just assume that they lost.
I don't watch college football. We're thankful for the back bacon and beer. True NW.
Hey, what about Black Friday? Anybody else go out shopping?
Cook in the chat.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Ted Cook in the chat.
That's one thing we adopted from you guys, and I'm thankful for, is Black Friday.
Black Friday, so you can go out and buy your cheap $5 toasters and $5 DVD players.
It's all junk, Joe.
It's like they ship in like all this crap stuff, and they're like, let's just sell it for like $5.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. It's just
there's
junk.
people that stay in lines and all that crap. Fuck that. Language.
Yeah, I would go. You know what? I used to go for every Black Friday? Bourbon County, Goose Island, Bourbon County. Super rare, comes out once a year, sells out within like a half hour. High alcohol content beer, but now I quit drinking, so I'm free. I'm single, ready to mingle, but I'm not single.
Yeah, you're not really ready to mingle then.
True.
I'm gonna get back to that guy's question there, but what'd you guys do this weekend? Anything interesting or what?
This weekend? You mean last weekend?
Sorry, this week.
Oh, this week.
Yeah.
I did a couple things. I had to actually go back and work on that frequency drive on that exhaust.
Oh yeah, that masterpiece.
Yeah, there was it quit working, so I went back out there thinking that maybe there was a moisture problem, because I was expecting either moisture or grease to immediately get inside that freak drive and just to blow it out.
Absolutely.
But,
was that OEM the way it was set up?
Well, originally that came as everything was 208 3-phase, because we ordered a 120 volt single phase for the restaurant, but it was shipped to us as 208 3-phase. So we contacted the manufacturer, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just send you a new freak drive. You just change that out. But then we're like, well, it still has the 3-phase motor. And then that's when I learned that freak drives, VFDs, can actually run 3-phase motors when they're, the input voltage is 120 volt single phase.
Right.
And so I quit working like the day after I went out there and changed it out. So it ran, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes while I was there, just tidying things up. And so what I found out is that the parameters in there weren't set up properly. So whenever you would shut it off, it wouldn't know that it had to be turned back on. Like there was nothing telling it to turn back on. It was just on, but there's no command to run. So I had to get all the tech support. I tried using the book and set it up according to the manual, how to get it to turn back on. Immediately go into run mode when power is reapplied, but it wouldn't work for me. So I called tech support, and it turns out, even though it doesn't say this anywhere in the manual, you're supposed to put a jump around like terminals 1 to 4 to trick it into running. You immediately reapply power, and I'm like, well, it doesn't say that anywhere in the book. So that was kind of frustrating, but learned something, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before, so it's pretty interesting.
There's a lot of feedback in the overtime group, which, by the way, if you're watching this and you don't know, we do have a Facebook group, HVAC Overtime. Soon to have a website with merch and all that fun stuff. But yeah, go check out our group. Join up. We got lots of cool stuff in there.
Randy, you're amazing.
But yeah, lots of people didn't know about that. I had a couple people that were telling me, just bypass the freak drive and this, that.
Yeah,
it's like I can't. It's the input's 120. It changes it over to 3-phase for that motor. It's wild. There's no way to even bypass that. In an emergency situation, if that freak drive ever goes out, like,
true.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
How about you, Adam? What was your week like? I know I said something about Save It for Friday. So, guys, if you ever see hashtag Save It for Friday, that came about because in our private chat, we talk, whatever. And sometimes I think there's going to be a good discussion. I'll just say hashtag Save It for Friday. And now
we're not allowed to talk. The later it gets into the week, the less we're allowed to say. And that's just how it goes with Joe.
You can't talk to him. You can't.
And then, like, so much time go. Dude, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. And it was Thanksgiving. All right. So my question is, what did I do this week? I don't know. It's hard to remember. I wish that we would have talked about it so I kept it fresh in my mind.
No. It was just today where it's
last weekend. I worked 7 days last week, so I was freaking exhausted. Let's see. We started the thermostat project, which is 141 EcoBees. Again, we're changing.
Yes.
I got my 2 guys on that. I started it off. I did like 2 thermostats. And I was just like, this is so dumb. Like, you guys think you could handle this? And like, yeah, we got it. I'm like, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, guys, good on you. So they could do it themselves.
Also, I was impressed because when you're adding the PEK on those thermostats,
yes,
on old furnaces, that you're wiring things in, and you could bump things, by the control board, right? So the one they bumped, they knocked the wire off a transformer. They figured it out by themselves.
What?
That was good. Not a big deal, but it was.
Hey,
that's progress in the right direction, right? Another one, pressure switch. Wasn't closing, and he told me that, and I'm like, really? Why would the pressure switch not be closing? But then he explained how he measured voltage across it and everything. I'm like, damn, these guys they're doing pretty good. They're moving in the right baby steps, right?
And who taught him all this stuff?
I don't know. I guess college. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
you did, you cool. Silly.
Yeah. They watch YouTube a lot.
Yeah. No, it's good. Even if I know you're doing well, but hey. You know what? There's a couple guys in the group actually were saying, hey, if you need help, Adam, on that boiler install or that Bosch.
Oh, yeah. That was nice. There was a couple guys offering to on the holiday weekend to help me out. We did, so today, my first Bosch heat pump, right?
I thought you did one before.
No, this is the first one ever.
Cool. I did. It was a Mana. That's right.
I just I have it running. I have the furnace running right now because it started getting late. It was dark outside. I didn't have a good light, and I'm like, I'm not gonna mess around with trying to charge this thing. It's the first time I'm commissioning it. I want to come back during the daytime and spend time because I got a show, and that's what I'm thinking about right now. So I left, but I have to go back there. So we shall see.
Let's see what Cyborg Sheep said. Going back to that. Freak drive on that exhaust, that VFD. If you ever needed to bypass it, you could make the bypass work temporarily by using a transformer and a capacitor. I'm gonna need more details on that. That sounds like you could, but I can't wrap my brain around it.
Maybe we'll bring Clive on later in the show and he can explain that.
That's all the VFD is doing. I mean, it's just obviously it's not that simple, but it's just bumping the voltage up, taking capacitors, cleaning it up a little bit.
Jason Johnson's asking if it's a true VFD, meaning like you could adjust the hertz, or is it fixed?
You can adjust it.
I was real pissed off. I bought one of those what do they call them, controllers or whatever for the VFDs. What do they call them?
I don't know. A VR.
What do these guys? What do you guys call them? What are they called? I'm not computer guys. No, it's like a little screen.
Smartwatch.
What do you mean little screen? Does VFD drive? Like, what do you mean?
Like so Control? The carriers, it's just like it's just nothing. You just plug all these wires into it. There's nothing there, right?
Okay, so, gotcha.
And then you have to buy a screen separate to connect it and make any adjustments on it.
Yes. Why? Yeah, that's right.
So I bought the screen.
Yeah, who makes that
they
screen?
told me, they said you got to buy this screen, blah blah blah. So I ordered the screen, and then I try hooking it up, and it's not working. I call them up, tech support. Why is this thing not working? They're like, "What model do you have?" I told them, "Well, that's an outdated model." I'm like, "Nobody told me what model to buy. I just go online and I type in for this brand, whatever VFD it was. Specific model screen you got to buy for these."
Yeah, I don't know who makes that module, whatever it is. I don't
know something. What is it?
Starts with a Z or no?
I don't remember. The carrier ones.
Yeah,
I don't work out enough.
You know, when I was on the phone with tech support, having them help me go through the parameters, make sure there's like 500 parameters in this thing too. It's insane. And we wanted to make sure all the parameters were set up. I forgot to ask them, like, can you send me some detailed like specs on this? Like, I don't know, the engineering brochure of how it actually does this, you know, the component to component, what it's doing throughout the entire sequence of changing 120 volt single phase over to 3-phase when it gets to the motor. But I totally forgot that, so I apologize.
It's all right. I went to a call. I had to give a where is it here? A non-immediate red tag because they had
what's a non-immediate? It's like, hey, I'm gonna shut you down like a week.
Yeah.
But just know I'm coming.
90 days.
You shouldn't use this,
90 days. 90 days.
You might die.
I worked something out for them. Pretty much took down the door.
He gave you a couple bucks. And he's like, let me roll for a little bit here.
Yeah. How about a couple loonies and toonies and
right, a stack of loonies and toonies. No, you know, I don't know why it happened just recently. Well, I know why they closed it in. Maybe it happened before and they're not telling me, but they closed this like enclosed space where this boiler is in this natural draft hot water tank, and they made a closet, the door, so it's just suffocating there. And their carbon monoxide's whatever, a meter went off. So I went in and I seen that. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to do it. When it comes to safety and carbon monoxide, dude, I just can't do it. I can't.
I had to do it. I told him 90 days. 90 days from now, I'm coming back and I'm shutting that motherfucker.
I worked something off. One appliance, door ripped off. Yeah, there's certain things in the code book. They could bring fresh air from outside. If they can't bring it from outside, they could always add grills on the door or the wall. There's everything in the code book. I think in the code book, if it's enclosed, I think it's like 1 inch per 1,000 BTUs. You have to drill, make a hole. If you have more than one appliance, you have to make 2 holes, yada, yada, yada. Or you could bring air from outside.
What are you talking about, inch? Like free area?
Square inch.
Drill?
Yeah, free air inch in the doorway space, just to bring air in. And you see it a lot, and people don't get it. You know, it comes back to the fact we used to talk about the fresh air from the furnace. When contractors, first thing, they just keep it inside, like on the cookie cutter houses. They don't bring the fresh air from outside on furnaces. Yeah, same thing. I hate that. You know,
how does that make you feel?
So bad.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't. Well, I guess because the boiler's running. I was thinking why it would happen. I guess just a few reasons. I guess it could be the enclosure. It could be a little bit of stack effect. Probably it's wintertime. Who knows?
How small of a room was it?
It's small. It was small.
Well, there you go. You don't have the combustion air, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens.
They're probably some magnetrons in a industrial, or I wouldn't call it industrial, a commercial microwave this week.
A what? Oh yeah,
commercial microwave. Yeah.
What'd you have to do to it?
I had to replace all the magnetrons, diodes, capacitors, pretty much everything in the heating circuit. It came out to be like $2,000. The microwave itself, it's like maybe $2,500.
So dumb.
I was like, it literally put in my nose like, it's 9 years old. Like, you should just replace this. I mean, I understand it's a $2,500 stainless steel, awesome giant microwave, but you're gonna pay me $2,000 to come back with all these parts, tear it all apart.
How much was that bill? Anyways,
like $2,000. It's wild. Like, I don't understand. It's just like, just buy a new one. You know?
How long would it take?
I was wondering about these refrigeration things that Chris, you know, these little reach-ins and this and that. When he's sitting there and he's rebuilding these whole things, it's like, dude, just go buy these things. Are like freaking go buy a new one, right?
Oh, see, I had to. Well, the one I did was it 2 weeks ago. I basically rebuilt. I gutted an entire walk-in, or not a walk-in, entire reach-in, evaporator, condenser, the whole condensing sled, gutted everything and replaced it all. But in that situation, like, the box was fixed. Like, it's part of the make line. Like, you can't just roll it out and roll a new one in place, you know? That's the only time it really makes sense to me. Some of these, like, big picture repairs that Chris does on these little reach-ins, like, those things don't cost that much. It's wild.
I have no clue what they cost, but I can't imagine it would be much cheaper to have somebody come out there and play with it for hours on end.
Yeah, well, remember too, like, these chain corporations that Chris and even I work for, actually some of the companies we work for are the same exact companies. Like, they're massive companies, and they go to these manufacturers and say, we're going to buy just your product, just your reach-in coolers, because we'll go to these restaurants. They'll have all the same brands, all the same models throughout all the restaurants. So they get a great deal on these pieces of equipment. So I'm always like, just go buy another one. I know you can buy it cheaper than I could ever think about buying it. So just tell them to get you another one. Fucking buy another one.
Yeah.
You know? Simple. Like, they're getting ice machines for, I don't know, like $2,000. Manitowoc, I don't know what the model is, but, you know, maybe not exactly $2,000, but they get a sweet deal on them because they buy so many of them.
There was another call. Somebody actually mentioned about indirect in the chat. I gotta go back to it. There was another call, Adam. I don't know if you ever did it. I think more Adam. This pertains more to Adam between boilers, but a client wanted what they want domestic from a boiler setup, but they only had a buffer tank. So did you ever take off the buffer tank to a plate heat exchanger and make a domestic loop? That's what I'm gonna be doing. Save money.
That's exactly what I just got rid of at this house.
Oh, no way. You're taking out and I'm putting in.
No, it was a stupid setup. They had a big Techmar control, blah, blah, blah. The pump was always running all the time. And the engineer who designed it was like, because there's a recirc line, right?
Right.
And he would have issues with, like, the temperature spiking slightly or, like, dropping a little bit. And there was a recirc line. And, like, I told him, I'm like, the way this heat exchanger is, because it was like they're using the heat exchanger as an on-demand
was it a
hot
plate
water
heat exchanger?
The plate heat exchanger, right?
They're never on demand. They're like probably the quickest for response time.
But here's the thing: they weren't using that hot water, right? So what he was doing was the recirc line was using all the hot water pipes in the house as a tank. And he was relying on the recirc line to run. And I told the engineer that. I'm like, and he said, he's like, no, the recirc line is only so you can have hot water right when you turn on the faucet. I'm like, no, the way this is piped and set up, you have to have this. Otherwise, you're not going to have it. He's like, no, that's not right. I'm like, let me tell you something. Let's turn the switch off. Let's talk to him in 2 days and see what he says. He called me. He's like, my hot water's not working. Like, go flip the recirc line back on.
So he had a wire that the whole circ line pump was on, but no individual pump on the domestic side.
There was a pump that was running between the buffer tank and the heat exchanger.
Yeah.
But then he had a recirc line, so it kept running multiple passes through all the hot water pipes in his house. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Because it was geothermal, a buffer tank with geothermal, and then he had like a small little boiler one-up at the end of it. You know,
good point, because that's the only other time I worked on something like that. There was a heat pump, and obviously they needed more heat, so they ran from a buffer tank that the geothermal was heating up. They ran a plate heat exchanger and preheated before it hit the it was a combi, I think.
So what was heating the plate heat exchanger?
The combi. It was the buffer. It was a heat pump. circulating that loop, and it was preheating before it got to the combi.
See, I just pulled it all out because they tried using this super expensive mixing valve, didn't work right. What was happening was
digital valve.
No, I don't know.
Which, sorry to retract, de-superheater will be the de-superheater of let's say a geothermal.
So what I think was happening, why the temperature was spiking, is the water was sitting in the coil because it was actually not like an indirect tank; it was a reverse indirect tank. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So the boiler water, if you will, is the tank, and the domestic is the coil running through. It's revert. It's opposite of a regular indirect tank.
Is that the one that the coil is friggin' huge? Like, or is it like double coil or something?
I don't remember. I mean, I think it is a decent sized coil in that, but what I think was happening was just sitting inside of there, and the water was warm, and that's like when it would make it through. Then, and it would hit the shower, it would spike, and I just said, let's tear this crap out. This is a stupid setup. And there was an engineer, and he's like, I think we should put on ultrasonic flow sensors on the pipes. And he started coming up with all these crazy ideas. I'm like, dude, this is fucking stupid complicated as it is, and it doesn't work. Let's not make it more complicated and make it not there we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
So I forgot to pay the electric bill.
No, I hear it. You know, now you talk about reverse tank.
Should have bought LED light bulbs.
Yeah. That's the other thing I noticed between even indirects. I remember there was, I forget who made it. I think it was Bradford and White. I had one time a scenario that they weren't getting enough heat because this old Bradford and White tank had a shitty what's it called, heat exchanger inside of it. It was like small compared to like the ones they have now or other companies. I usually use IBC, so I think that answers a question in chat. I believe it's IBC I usually use. Those are good indirects. I like them. The surface, I think the surface areas, they maxed out the surface area, so you're getting good dissipating heat good, and your temperature whatever difference is pretty close. So I like IBC. Anyways,
wonder what happened to my camera.
I would agree.
Something going. I hope I didn't burn out something on this.
I'm sure it's burnt out, man. I've never seen a camera that goes off because it's too hot. But also, I didn't know you left your camera on for months at a time.
Yeah, I gotta remember to turn this crap off. You know.
Don't you have another camera on your?
Like, doesn't your computer like automatically go to sleep like at some point in time?
Well, it's not my computer. It's a camera. It's an external camera.
Well, now that you're just a voiceover, that Ecobee, because I love the how you can monitor your customers, usage. What do you got to do for that? So people
they're actually, I think they're getting rid of that soon.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid. It makes me angry.
That's like one of the best features.
I know. Yeah, you got to sign up as a contractor, and then once you sign up as a contractor, and they create their account, they need to my freaking light is buzzing. I gotta turn this thing off. They need to go log into the online portal.
See what happens when you electrify everything, Nate Adams.
Good one.
Yeah.
So you're saying
log into their portal.
Yep.
Click on about, go to contractor settings, and then you need to allow you need to specify your contractor. The customer does. So they would go to a drop down box and it would show A-Team Heating and Air. Check that. Allow permissions, and then now I could see their thermostat.
Cool. That's awesome because you monitor everything from there. You could.
Yeah, I've been. I mean, I like it when it's cold. It's fun to watch in the morning time when I'm like dropping a deuce. I just like look at everyone's thermostats on my phone.
Creepy.
Wait, you also get to see if they're keeping up, right?
Yeah.
Can't you also? Isn't there like a camera in there? So you also like see what they're really doing?
They don't know about that.
Secret. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
There was
nothing like a deucing peeping Tom.
Oh, speaking of which, my Wohler VE400 showed up today. The inspection camera.
Yes. Did you get it from True Tech?
Oh, that reminds me of something I was going to ask you guys.
Yeah.
best way to spy on people when they're changing their clothes.
Go for it.
You just did. He just did.
Oh, no, actually, secondary heat exchangers. Is there like a good way to like what's the best way you guys have found to see if they're cracked or broken or failed in some ways?
They usually don't crack. I don't think. The one time I've only seen one crack was a train. It was super oversized with no returner, and there's a plastic piece on it that cracked.
So what? I only ask this because some of our newest accounts do have these high efficiency like residential style furnaces, and of course they're new to me. And somebody was mentioning to me the other day that these particular brand was it Carrier. Yep, it was Carrier. He said the secondary heat exchangers, like they fail, they crack or whatever. But I was like,
better.
How do you get eyes on that? How do you verify that it is?
You don't get. I mean, you could pull the blower out.
I think it's the best.
You could pull the blower out. Sometimes you'll see water leaking from them. The seals are
rust trail.
Right.
But if you pull let me see. Now the blower is down at the bottom, and the secondary heat exchanger would be
right on top,
right above it.
Right above it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. So you would be able to see that if you pull the blower.
Portions of the back portion of the secondary and the front portion, either one can leak water. Usually nothing in the middle. But yeah, and otherwise, another thing that will happen is you'll notice like there'll be a lot of heat coming off the furnace. Period. Like you'll put your hand on the top plate of the furnace, and you'll be like, "Damn, that thing is hot! I could cook some freaking fried eggs on this thing."
And that's when you know, like the secondary heat exchanger is
because you're
failed or compromised.
That's one of the symptoms. Another one is a rollout switch will trip. Another one is the exhaust smells like rotten eggs.
Yeah.
So I assume when it plugs up, your pressure switches will trip. So it's like that. I assume would be pretty obvious.
No. I think most of the time I've seen it's like hot furnace or rollout switch trips, and then if you do a combustion test, it's going to be
off the charts. But you usually see a stain. Like the ones I've been seeing lately, I always see a trail stain because I guess the water, the acidic water, condensate water that's going through a secondary is getting jammed up, coming out from somewhere, and it just leaves that trail of rusty.
So is that a good sales tactic then when you pull the heat exchanger and you do see those
absolutely
stains?
If you want to call it, but it's dangerous, man. You can't have a furnace like that. You gotta condemn that shit.
Yeah.
Only because it's got stains in it, though. You're not talking like actual open cracks.
We're talking about monoxide getting into the airstream.
Yeah, but usually you don't see the secondary. I mean, but it is. Here's the thing, right? The combustion is very bad. It gets to the point where if something does happen, it could be very deadly very quickly, right? The amount of carbon monoxide in the air.
Yeah, because it is open.
Not only that, you're getting what's it called? The roll-off switch is going, meaning your flame is not going through the inside the burner. It's coming out.
Heat exchanger.
So it's dangerous.
My brother last week had mentioned to me that his furnace, it's an old train. I don't know how old, but it's an older train. I think 80% or something like that. But he said out of his ducts, he was getting like a sweet, almost like a wood burning smell. And I was like, I couldn't tell you what it is, man. I was thinking maybe you dropped some incense down the vent, but I've never heard of that before, ever in my entire life.
Wood burning
sweet.
Smell.
Yeah, like a sweet wood burning sort of smell.
Sweet.
I mean, there's no secondary to it. I mean, it's just a simple 80% furnace. I was thinking maybe it's been firing off this whole season. So my first thought was, maybe this is the first time it fired up this year. And it's just burning off some dust or something. But
yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The first time of the year, absolutely. Whatever.
But it's not. No, it's been fired up plenty of times before.
But it wasn't the first time of the season.
No. So I had no explanation for him. But to ease his mind, I said I would ask you two guys because you guys are geniuses.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Sweetness is maybe he's hiding somebody inside the ductwork. I don't know.
I thought like maybe the previous person who lived there was like unsure of how furnaces worked, and they were putting like logs down the ducts, like just to see like it's getting cold in here, and like let's put some more logs in the ductwork.
Who puts logs in ductwork?
Stupid people who don't know how
Why are
furnaces
logs
work.
sweet?
I don't know. That was a completely theoretical situation that didn't really happen. No, Jonathan Hughes, he had it on. I don't know, like months and months ago. It first kicked on, and it's been running since.
What
Weird.
else? I got hold on. What else did I? Oh, you know what I tried on Sunday? Ran a service call.
And
I tried that Navac flaring tool.
And how was it?
What
were you doing anyways?
Fixing a leak.
Oh.
Leaky. Huh? Yeah.
The one caused by the roofers?
I don't know if it was caused by the roofers, but I mean, it could have been a bad flare. Maybe it was not a bad flare. It looked okay, but it was like kind of, I don't know. My thing is, what do you guys think? If it's a flat roof, one of the commercial style roofs, the mini split was installed. It was on like a short 6-inch stand.
That's right. It is tits.
They lifted up the mini split, and I don't know what they did with it. They levitated it while they roofed under it.
Magnets. Magnets.
Like moving around a mini split and flares will cause a leak.
They did some David Blaine or Jason, whatever his name is.
It depends. Like, I mean, they don't need to lift it up very high, right? Because you're just talking like a flat roof, so a rubber membrane. They could just lift it up one time and roll that shit out.
It's the asphalt, burn down stuff though. It's got to be high enough where you're not burning anything, right? They're using
asphalt, maybe.
What do you do?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I just like to blame other people, so I'm just thinking it's not me.
Yeah. Did you use a torque wrench when you initially put it together?
Good question.
Absolutely.
Oh,
but
I see his face. We don't know if he's talking crap.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when I go to do the podcast for this episode, I'm going to put in the notes. Don't bother watching the live stream. Just listen to the podcast.
How does that happen? Stack effect. And I mentioned it earlier. What's the best way to say this? I guess wintertime, everything's closed, right? Depressurizes the house. You got your exhaust on, your range hood exhaust.
Your furnace.
Trying to get air.
Are you talking about stack effect?
Yeah. You're trying to get air. The house is trying to it's trying to pressurize, try to equalize. And it's pulling in air from all time, like everywhere, all cracks, windows, blah, blah, blah. It can't do it fast enough. And you'll get stack effect coming back in the exhaust through
that's not called stack effect coming back in the exhaust. You're
whatever you call it, dude.
Backdraft in the chimney.
Backdraft, that's what it's called.
I thought stack effect was when you have like the cold air in the chimney, and then
actually, good point.
Exhaust wants to, or whatever it is trying to light, and then it can't actually get the hot air out of the flue to actually get up the chimney, so it goes out on on limit or rollout. Rollout, I guess.
I forgot the stack, whatever. No, I had that actually happen to me a couple times. One time, a boiler was short cycling, and the flue, I'm assuming it uses buoyancy to go up, or whatever you want to call it, and it wasn't getting hot enough. So you're right, the cold pipe, you want to call it, was creating a backdraft.
You were working in a submarine, weren't you?
I think that a lot of that has to do with there's many things that can cause that, Joe.
What do you think?
Like the height of the chimney.
That helps.
How much horizontal run that it has going to the chimney, the size of the horizontal run, the size of the chimney.
Is the chimney in the envelope of the house, or is it on the outside?
Oh, yeah. This was in the inside, but as to Adam's point, you're right. Say you take off an appliance off the chimney and there's no liner. Yes, you have to resize it for that liner for that one appliance. Now, I totally agree on that. But I also came to scenarios that just a boiler short cycling on a cold flue was creating. Yes, that's what the word is, buoyancy. Was creating backdraft. So,
Alaska says
nuts here.
A fucking draft.
Sorry.
Alaska, he says buoyancy. You mean fucking draft?
Hey, I did a steam boiler several years ago.
Yeah,
it was a big steam boiler. I want to say, I mean, not big, but big for residential. It was like I don't know, 400 something thousand BTU, whatever, you know. But I get it. It's not big. There's a bunch of people saying you don't know what big is. I'll show you big.
Yeah, and then they have like a 4-story steam boiler from like a factory. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, we get it.
I don't
We
care.
understand.
My
Everybody
point,
lives in different worlds in this
right.
industry.
But anyway, so the way they had this
Mm-hmm.
basement finished, you could not get a good pitch on the flue pipe. You just couldn't do it. Impossible. So I bought one of those. I hate saying this word. What is it called? Journalant fans.
Yeah.
And I called
inline
them up
fans.
and I told them what was going on with it. I'm like, what fan do I need for this? And they told me the fan I need for the thing. And this thing was loud, dude. It was a loud fan. And they're like, this is what you need. If you can't have a pitch over a 4-foot span, this is what you need to have an exhaust. And you go outside, and the chimney outside, dude, it looked like the Willy Wonka factory. Like the freaking smoke was shooting like 15 feet in the air.
Oh my god!
I think we overdid it with the fan a little bit on this one, guys. But actually, I ended up switching that one out, put in a smaller one. I did. They
just needs a little bit to overcome the
the non pitch. Like, no, this is what you need. It looked like it was like a semi truck exhaust, dude.
Robert M. I had a stack with a split in it. When the heat fired, there was a sweet smell coming out of the return. Was in the near room. The return was not properly sealed, pulling in a smell of wood. There you go. Thanks, Robert.
Interesting.
So you gotta be careful there, Billy.
Yeah, you want to.
That was something that I not that exact the way he said it, but I was like, yeah, I told him like, go check your flue, make sure the flue is tight and sealed, like nothing got shaken loose or anything like that. But
that's why, dude, 80%ers, get rid of them. We don't allow those to be installed anymore. They just cause problems. They could create problems. Like, why still
Canada
install
so
them?
much better than us with their rules and their shit.
Oh,
man. The natural draft. Do you guys do natural draft water heaters?
No.
That's
yes. Water heaters. Yeah.
Still, it's stupid though. They shouldn't make those freaking things anymore.
I know. That's still an option. It's power vented or natural draft. But for furnaces, you're not allowed to, because it's weird. In the code book, I believe a water heater underneath 50,000 BTUs, you could put in a damn closet. There's no code against having whatever. It's weird. I guess I don't know. But furnace, yeah, you cannot install an 80%er here. It has to be.
I installed an 80% today.
Boom. What do you got? What do you got to say about that, Canada?
She's got a heat pump, dude. The heat pump's not gonna. It's gonna carry the house most through the winter. I'm telling you, it's a small house. I looked at her gas usage.
How much gas usage is she doing per month or season?
Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Nice.
I'll tell you exactly.
I'm gonna say
could get Electro Boom.
40,000. How much square feet? 40,000.
Is that a person?
Electro
Boom, or is that like a
he's a Canadian dude?
1,600-ish square feet.
Electro Boom is a Canadian?
Yeah, and he's a huge
I did a blower door test too.
That's a cool name.
Oh, did you?
Electro Boom.
Cool.
It's definitely like a villain. A comic book villain.
How were her how's the leakage on her house anyways?
She had her leakage, she was 22,555 CFM 50. Her square footage, she's 1,524 square feet. Her gas usage, she used 976 therms of heating usage throughout the entire winter. That's low.
No sense.
Low.
Why do you explain that? Because
Electro Boom has a bigger channel than Big Clive. What?
Wow. I didn't know it was that. He's huge. I didn't know he was bigger than Clive.
Who's that?
Electric Boom.
I don't never heard of him.
No, I've never heard of him. Can't be that cool.
Which video, Cyber, that he did? I'm not sure. Oh,
yeah, if he's that
Mr.
big, chances are he doesn't want to talk to us.
Oh, he would.
Come on,
get the overtime bump.
He'll get the bump.
I'll give him the moose card. Crazy Dragon Chan is asking, what is a blower door test?
It's like a big fan that you suck all the air out of the house, or you just add a bunch of air into the house, depending on which way you turn the fan.
And what are you trying to find out?
Figure out how leaky the house is.
All right, good.
Man.
Some people don't know.
You're measuring the difference in pressure in pascals, the difference between the positive and negative.
And where can you implement that value? That's
accidentally blowing.
Want to explain that? A lot of
You
people
know, like a load calculation.
There's like an Indian looking guy I know. It's probably not the same guy you guys are talking about. Not electrical.
He looks kind of Indian.
But there, yeah, he looks kind of Indian, but he's always electrocuting himself. Is that the guy?
Absolutely.
That sounds like a good channel.
He's just like always accidentally electrocuting himself.
Why doesn't
good? One of Big Clive's buddies. They all talk. And speaking of sizing or whatnot, load count, blah blah blah. I seen guys in the Facebook group talking about what was that Kiwi
quick model.
Quick model, yes. How was that?
Was Corbett Lunsford and who was the other guy?
Kaiser, Eric Kaiser.
Corbett in his tiny house.
Yeah,
Corbett in his tiny house, but Kaiser, yeah.
X lost cool F8X.
I did watch a video on it after they recommended that program, and it was kind of cool. They had like a 3D model on that. But like every single program, the only one that doesn't look like that is Cool Calc. Everything looks like it's from like 1993.
I seen that. It's so true. Windows 3. Would you say Windows 3.11?
Yeah.
DOS mode.
Hey, Jason Johnson, you ever watch the what is that? What is that one show with Pedro Pascal? I think that's how you say his name. That's what I think about when everybody says Pascal. Pedro Pascal.
Crazy Dragon, you could ask away, buddy. And kudos to you for wanting to know and asking the question.
What movie is that?
So what was the... Hold on.
Can't think of the movie. Sorry, Jason Johnson. You're on your own, bud. Yeah, the X lost F8X said he didn't understand what you said, Adam. I think you were talking about the blower door.
Oh, I don't know. There's good YouTube videos on it. It's just you set up a big fan. It's a special tool. It's a big fan. And you ramp it up until you hit the differential of pressures of 50 pascals.
Yeah, he was in Narcos, Will Speed. Yeah.
And then Bill's house was pretty leaky.
Yeah, but I think you should explain where you can, like, again, where you can implement the value, like where you could put it in. Like a lot of people don't know.
You could either, when you're doing a manual J on a house, you could either type in their preset settings where it's is it tight, is it semi-tight, average, semi-loose, or like Joe's mom, extra loose.
Wow. You hear that, Peter Griffin? Right when you come in and he's talking about fucking what's that? Peggy, what's that girl?
Peter, your brother?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
So it's either you're guessing
Kingsman, that's the movie I was thinking of. Kingsman, number 2.
You're guessing how leaky the house is.
Yeah.
By just
it's also in Wonder Woman.
Or you actually measure how leaky the house is and you enter a numerical value.
Man, Jason Johnson, my house is so leaky, dude.
And
every winter I am faced with the reality that my house has barely any insulation in it.
We were supposed to do your ductwork before winter too.
Yeah, and I'm still wrestling with the idea of what I want to do to actually address this problem.
What problem?
You know, the issue of my walls having no insulation in them. Really, I've thought about, like, you know, cutting holes in the wall and having them, you know, pump spray foam in there or whatever they do. But like you said, that they can't really see what they're doing. They might not get everything, so I don't like that idea. Talking to the siding guy who's supposed to be giving me an estimate, he really didn't seem to know anything about putting like 2-inch insulation under it. He's like, we have this siding that's like backed with a foam, like 3/4 inch foam, and that's really all he had, I guess. So I was like, so you can wrap it and then put this like foam backed siding on it. That's not really gonna do much. I was like, well, what's the R value on it?
Are you talking about stucco?
No,
because
it's vinyl siding with just
because that's what a lot of people do too, though. I find, you know, you can't do anything on the inside. Why not do it on the outside? Stucco.
Why stucco?
You're foaming the whole house around the brick, around anything.
No, it's that's not called stucco. It's called
what's it called?
Adobe. You want me to build a house out of mud?
Maybe it is stucco. But there's something. It's called something where the foam is so thick, and you drill something through it, and it's like 6 inches.
Oh my god! It's funny you say that. They had a house in a nice area. I don't know why they did it to the house. They covered nice brick, but I guess maybe they're doing it for the value. They are value. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I was putting clamps on my 3-inch exhaust. I had like 2 furnaces coming out and a boiler. Long story short, I had to order for like 4-inch, go buy 4-inch screws. I think it was 4-inch. I had to get through the styrofoam to get to the cement. Crazy things.
So then I was wrestling with the other idea of, like I've told you guys before, gutting the entire upstairs and having the the roof deck, the walls, everything spray foamed, which is, I would love to do that, but man, it's going to cost me so much money. And I just recently had the house appraised, and even in this market, at least in my area, where houses are crazy expensive for some reason right now, my house just barely appraises for more than what I bought it for. And I've already put, $30,000 into this house since I've lived here. And it's definitely not $30,000 more valuable than what it was when I bought it. So if I put another, 20, 30 grand into at least the upstairs, spray foaming it, gutting the walls, doing all the drywall and everything, it's at least 20, 30,000 bucks. And then, $10,000 to do some duct work, run some, furnaces. And then I still haven't done anything to the first floor to address the leaky walls. So you're talking 50, 60,000 bucks altogether.
Yeah, it's a big expense, a big investment. If it's worth, if you want to put in that house or not, if you just want to move somewhere else and maybe purchase a tighter house.
But I was looking at some of these, like, I don't know, not really newer houses, but houses that appeared to be more up to date, nice new fancy shit, everything seemed more modern, already remodeled and everything. I mean, they're going for like 300 grand.
That's a lot.
That's a lot here, man.
Oh my
God. Honestly, like where you're at, Joe, I don't know how you guys can afford the houses you afford, because where I'm at, like I can afford this house. I mean, I can afford this house, but I couldn't afford a $300,000 house on what I make.
Yeah, dude. Cyborg Keep 6, the fellow Canadians who know about the Ontario market, it's like $1 million. You're most areas, popular cities, you're paying $1 million.
So, like, how do you afford that? How does anybody afford a house there?
It's hard. You need 2 incomes, and
see, people that's like Chris in California.
Yeah, 3 income state. Yeah, it's exactly here. I'm sorry to say, Toronto's a high budget.
You gotta be a big baller like Joe, and you gotta be into the back business too.
You have to be. You can't just rely on work, guys.
Under table kind of stuff.
Oh, Cyborg Sheep, the electrical in the house is actually pretty good. They had
knob and tube.
Years before I moved in, they took out all the old knob and tube and had everything redone. I had a new breaker panel installed too. That's all been upgraded. I got a transfer panel for my generator. So all that other sort of stuff it's all good. Plumbing is pretty good. There's some stuff I want to take out, but that's another thing. I have some old, I assume, metal pipes in the second floor that I think have issues that need to be taken out and probably replaced with PVC. So my other idea was, since I can't afford a nice brand new house, because I'm not running the cartel game like Joe, I can't afford nice $1 million houses. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should buy an old farmhouse with some land and just try to fix it up myself. Make a story out of it. But that would suck so much because it's already hard enough. Like I've had a hole in one of my walls upstairs in my bathroom for like 6 years because I either don't want to or I just don't have the time to try to patch it.
Put a poster over it.
I'll put like a Post-it note over it, like, don't look here.
Chill guy. Yeah, even out west in BC, it's crazy. They're just as bad as Toronto. It's crazy. There's bidding wars. You could put a house for, let's say, 800,000-900,000. You're gonna get a bidding war. It's just they do on purpose now. There's bidding war. Go over $1 million. It's crazy.
It's wild.
It is wild. Anyways.
Well, I wish I lived in Toronto.
I know.
No, you'd have to get another job.
Yep. Me and Joe we could live together as roomies.
Because like I know what some of the technicians make, like up in Toronto. I'm like, well, how did they afford it? Like, because I mean, I'm not making killer money, but some of these guys I'm making more than them. I'm like, you guys are buying $500,000 houses, and I'm like in a $200,000 house, and it's weird. It's like those house buying shows where like I'm a substitute teacher, and then the other guy's like, I make chalk sculptures on the side, and our budget's $3 million to buy.
We're doing this right now.
Like what? Yeah, like, it makes no sense.
Hey Joe, do you know the Property Brothers?
Yes, of course. They have house. They have. Do you know about them?
Yeah, they live by you, right?
Yeah,
they live by you.
there's houses they've done remodeled in my area. Not my area per se, I guess, but like in the GTA. I go by a street and you'll see Property Brothers, and I guess I don't know if they're gonna remodel it. It's gonna be on TV, but yeah. But anyways, how much is a box to live in Canada? It's expensive, $1 million. Cardboard box.
Joe's house is old and very leaky.
It is.
We
checked. It's worth a bunch of money.
Yeah,
but I did my usage. It was 100,000 like BTUs.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm thinking I'll probably be doing a next. I'm gonna change all my system. Big project. It'll probably be a heat pump with gas backup.
I'm gonna start making fart videos so I can get my income up a little bit.
So you can get your TikTok on point.
Yeah, my OnlyFans is gonna be nothing but feet and farts.
We got our TikTok going.
I'm gonna fart on cakes, put my feet on the camera and stuff.
Good idea. I think it'll be a hit.
Try to cut vegetables with just my feet.
I think it's gonna be a hit, bud. But I think that's it, boys. I think we should wrap it up unless I can think of something else.
Let me check my list. Oh, we didn't talk about flow and nitrogen.
See,
what happened with
that? Up right at the beginning.
Yeah,
what happened with that?
Broken.
Remember Adam's little buddy there, Jimmy Wang? Adam was telling us before the show.
Oh yeah.
He had some issues with his guys for flowing nitrogen. And I was remembering, I did that make line sort of remodel with the new evaporator, new condensing unit, and there was one part where I really didn't flow any nitrogen when I was brazing in the evaporator, and when I was brazing the parts of the evaporator together, like the TXV, and just kind of putting everything together inside the evaporator, and then connecting some of the line sets so I could feed it through the back of the cabinet. And obviously, there's no way to flow nitrogen. I take that back. No, I could have brazed on a temporary service port and then flowed nitrogen that way.
Different. That's different.
I'm not gonna.
I mean, you can't really.
That.
I think on refrigeration, there's probably a lot, especially these little box. What do you call them? Like these little devices or whatever you call them. Like coolers and that, where it's not like you don't have a separate, condenser and evaporator and all that. And
the only thing is, on the small systems, the smaller systems, that will be more critical to have that carbon inside the pipe.
There was carbon buildup in those pipes when I was done.
But how would you ever do that? How would you ever flow nitrogen? Okay,
so just on the last joint you can't flow nitrogen.
Yeah, but what?
In that environment, what I was doing with that evaporator, I would have had to temporarily braze on a service port on the end of the evaporator.
What was the scenario again? Sorry, I wasn't.
I had the whole evaporator sitting on top of the counter, and I was brazing in the TXV and then running the liquid line and suction line outside of the evaporator box itself. So I could, when I put the evaporator, everything down inside the cabinet, I had to feed a little bit through the back of the cabinet so I could connect it to the condenser.
Gotcha.
So I was putting that all together beforehand, of course. And, I could have brazed on a service port real quick and then flowed nitrogen that way. That's probably what I should have done. If we're getting, scientific about it, that's probably what I should have done.
Yeah.
That would have been the only way to do it, though.
Yeah, I guess so. Or
turn this off and back on.
Unless it was pressurized before the refrigerant or nitrogen, and let it off.
Unless I just dry fitted everything, put everything together, and then brazed everything at one time, then I could have hooked up. Then I could have hooked up nitrogen to the condenser and then just flowed it.
Right, of course.
Right,
well, of course, yeah.
Or just use Zoom lock like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zoom lock. Yeah.
Or you just buy a truck, but never do truck things with it. Be a man.
A what truck? What?
Are you watching that same TikTok guy?
Hell yeah! That's where I get all my life advice.
Be a man.
Never smile in any pictures. Be a man.
Mega Projects says subsea pipelines are pressurized with nitrogen. Oh, it's pretty random, but cool.
Ale Anonymous says 1/4-inch flare rubber plug. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's talking to put I guess to tie one in, like you were saying. Be your wife. Be a man. Yeah, sounds about right, Lasco.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do that quite often.
The camera is fixed. Yes, it is. We can see.
I don't know if it is. I
Face.
think it's gonna go back out. Look, I shaved my head. Am I losing my hair? I think right here.
You're fine, dude. Oh,
no, it's starting to peak.
Oh my
The
god!
widow's
Leave the
peak
guy
going
alone.
on.
Start drinking again.
Shaved it. I shaved it.
Yeah, you might as well just keep it short because one day you're gonna have to start, straight razoring it.
Yeah,
that's what I had to do.
You have it, flaunt it, bud. Take advantage. When you lose it, then you shave it.
Or you shave it before you lose it, so you avoid looking foolish.
Good point.
Alaska wants to know why your head's dented.
It's like right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it was
probably because when your mom gave birth to you, she was so loose, you just fell right out and bumped your head.
That could happen. I think we should have ended on that note, but yeah, that could have happened for sure. Mm-hmm. That was a good ending note. Yeah.
Well, it's too late now. You can't end it after you say you should have ended it on that note.
Well, I knew you were gonna hit the button anyway, so might as well just say it.
Could have floated out of there in a hot air balloon. Elon Musk got a hair transplant?
Absolutely. He has the money. What? Why not? He has the money. Why? What? He was going bald or something? Well, you know what? When you have that money, you can do anything you want.
I want to get a hair transplant everywhere on my body so I look like Wolverine. Or not Wolverine, werewolf.
Like, who's that wrestler?
Like Teen Wolf. Do you remember that movie from the 80s?
Teen Wolf. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Oh, I can't remember nothing, man. I'm going to have Alzheimer's when I get old. Or dementia.
Hate that. One of the two. Why don't they got a cure for that already? Like, what the hell's taking him so long, man?
Well, because they haven't figured out how to detect it before it's actually detectable. Like right now, we only know people has it. Like by the time we figure out that somebody has Alzheimer's or dementia, like their brain is mush already.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, if we would have some way to screen for this 20 years ago, we might have been able to do something about it. But until they can figure out that part of testing early, then they can maybe try to find some way to curb that.
MTU engineer saying tape a hose to the stub and flow nitrogen. I've taped so many hoses and flow nitrogen. I don't even know how it's going through.
Oh, I used my pipe wiper today too. I forgot to talk about that.
Oh, pipe wiper. Why? You got a burnout or something? You had a burnout or something? Or?
No, you know what a pipe is, right?
Yeah.
I just tried she didn't want to change her line set. It was an easy line set change, but I give it as an option. And she said, I don't want to change the line set. So
how big was the line set?
3/4, 3/8. So it was only like
sorry. How long was it?
15 foot long.
Just whatever. Let it rip.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
Without the what pipe wall?
It's not bad. I like using those things,
Yeah. Cool.
But I still feel like it's just gonna get stuck one time.
I've never had it gotten stuck yet. Actually, Brian Orr made a video on one, and he forgot he put one of them into the launcher, and he put another one into the launcher, and then two popped out. He's like, "Wait, why is there two here?"
Oh shit, that's scary, man. Oh man, thank God
they're reproducing.
Jeez.
Yeah,
they call them pigs.
Pigs?
Call them pigs.
I don't know. That's what they call them.
That's what I call my prom dates.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Well, we should have ended on that note.
Yeah, it's too slow today. I don't know what it is. It's the camera overheating or
brains overheating.
But you're just slow on the buttons.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
G. Leroy. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing J. Leroy? That's what you're doing? Super gay.
I had to say hi to him at the same time, so that's an ultimate hi for you.
Let me tell you about my gay friend.
Yeah,
not into chicks. Always.